Bartlett Board meeting for March 21st, 2023. I call this meeting to order and ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Trustee Daney?
Here.
Gansey?
Here.
Gunstein?
Here.
Hopkins?
Here.
Laporte?
Here.
Sawansky?
Here.
President Wallace.
Here. We had a cancellation for our invocation this evening. If we can all just stand and just adhere to a moment of silence, and then we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. Amen. Thank you all. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This brings us to our consent agenda this evening. All items listed with an asterisk will be enacted in one motion. There'll be no separate discussion with items on the consent agenda. That being said, would anyone like to add or remove anything from the consent? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda this evening, which will include the board minutes from March 7, 2023. Let me put on my lovely red glasses. The bills list from March 21, 2023. The consent this evening will also include items C, Finance and Golf Committee, C1, Police and Health Committee, E1, and Public Works Committee, F2 and 3.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Trustee Daney, second by Trustee Hopkins. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Laporte?
Yes.
Sawansky?
Yes.
Daney?
Yes.
Gansey?
Yes.
Gunstein?
Yes.
Hopkins?
Yes.
That motion carries. Brings us to our treasurer's report this evening. Mr. Treasurer?
Thank you. Included in your packet for today is the treasurer's report for the month of January. Also included is the sales tax report. We did receive $338,672. That represents the October activity, which was up almost $56,000 from the prior year. And for the MFT fund, we received $126,616, which was down over $11,000 from the prior month, which tends to fluctuate this time of the year. So that's it for the treasurer's report, unless there's any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Treasurer. We have a couple items on the President's report this evening. The first item is a recognition of some commissioners that have been served on different committees. First we'd like to have Mr. Bruce Hendricks come up. Bruce served 7 years on the Bike and Run Commission. I think it was initial meeting, right? Yeah. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you for being here. It's an honor. Thank you for worthwhile. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Created some foundation there, and now that committee is off and running under the leadership of Mr. Hopkins, or Trustee Hopkins. So, thank you. Two people that are on the Economic Development Commission have served. Michelle Hughes has served 4 years, and Tracy Smedida has served 9 years. And if those of you who don't know, the Economic Development Commission reviews plans that could be coming into the village, possibly coming into the village. Anytime a new business is coming in, they are typically the first eyes to look at it, and also recommending different things for marketing purposes and stuff for the village. So if Michelle and Tracy would come up, I would love to recognize you for your service. Ladies, thank you for serving. All right. The next item we have is the President's report. So, in January of 2023, the village staff created a concept of a Best Burger in Bartlett competition. The goal behind the contest was to create a buzz and foot traffic in the month of February, which it did, which can traditionally be cold and dreary months for small business owners. I know many of the board frequented almost all of the people that were contestants in the Best Burger. I was told that the total number of votes was near 600, so a lot of people ate a lot of burgers. So throughout the month of January, staff solicited nominations from businesses, bringing in 13 participants. GIS and administration staff worked together to implement an online webpage that was the hub for voting and promoted the program on social media, encouraging residents to stop in at their favorite Bartlett eateries for a burger. And they all had a specialty burger. Voting was open throughout the month of February. Oh, here we go. 627 total votes were cast, with 81 going to the first ever Best Burger in Bartlett, which is now announced as McMay's Tavern and Grill. Boss's Signature and Hoot Dogs received honorable mentions with 75 and 73. So if I can have a representative of McMay's come up, congratulations to McMay's, and thank you to all 13 participating restaurants. Thank you.
Don't forget the trophy.
And we got the trophy. I don't think it's not one of those trophies that travels around to the sky. Don't we gonna create that? So this is yours to keep. Put that on the bar there. All right. Thank you so much. Well done. And that is it for the president's report. Next item we have, anybody have any questions for staff?
I have a question for staff. Do we have any updates on what's happening with Site E?
Well, there are a few things that they have to get straightened away in terms of with MWRD and with their plat and some easements. And so the attorneys and the engineers are working to clarify all of those things. I think we're meeting with them tomorrow at 9:30 on the site to figure some of those things out. But they're moving ahead and they want to move as quickly as they can. So we're trying to facilitate that.
I think we just spoke to them today, right? Yeah, to get that moving. Good. Any other questions?
Is there any update on North Bartlett and Route 20, the gas station? Yeah.
Let you take that one because you did all the work.
What are we talking about?
555 West Lake Street, which is at North Bartlett Road and Lake Street, the northeast corner. We recently got a court order and permission to clean up the site. So if you have driven by it, you will notice that all the illegal fly dumping garbage has been removed as of yesterday.
Does anybody own that, or is it bank owned?
It is going through the foreclosure process. They owe back taxes. It's very complicated.
So 7-Eleven's out.
7-Eleven withdrew their contract, yes.
So no.
Thank you.
Anything else? Brings us to our town hall portion of the meeting this evening. Anyone would like to address the board, kindly step up to the podium and state your name and address for the record, and try to keep your comments to 3 minutes.
My name is Arlene Lakowitz, and I live at 1018 Bentley Lane. I'm a crossing guard at Sycamore Elementary School. And I'm here on behalf of the staff and myself, just to say thank you to the village and the police department for changing the traffic pattern exiting the school. I can't tell you how many times I was almost hit. Two signs have been put up, okay? One says no left turn, no right turn, and they can't go straight. And the other one says right turn only. And we have, the school has put up, what do you call them, pylons, I guess, or whatever they're called, so that they can't turn left, because even with the no left turn sign that was up before the traffic pattern change, they still turned left. And there's no parking in front of the school anymore. So, cars can't park in front of the school. And because of the change, everyone is so much safer. Again, I have to say thank you, thank you,
Good.
thank you. It's working so well. I mean, everybody is out of that parking lot, the school park, by 9 minutes after 2. The bell rings at 2.
Good deal.
So, thank you.
Good. Thank you, Arlene.
Thanks. Thanks, everybody on staff, for that as well.
Good evening. I'm still Tracy Smodella at 645 Aspen Court. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, board, staff, and guests. I recently learned from our clerk and mayor that the village had received many applications from our residents who wish to step up and serve on our commissions, especially since there's been a history of sometimes difficulty filling those particular positions. After nearly 10 years of serving, I also know that any position in government, elected or appointed, deserves the opportunity of fresh perspective from its constituency in the mission to best serve the needs of the community as a whole. I'm encouraged by those who are answering the call. My interest in economic development predates my 2013 appointment to the EDC. In 1999, I helped lead the charge to defeat a 1,500 megawatt power plant that was to be constructed in what we now know as Brewster Creek Business Park. Bartlett citizens advocating for responsible environments in the community at large knew the area deserved more productive, less risky development, and we succeeded. Brewster Creek is a fine example of the sometimes necessary and hopefully temporary public-private relationship in investment and development. During my time on the EDC, I appreciated the opportunity of collaboration, consideration, and many times spirited debate on how our village can optimize the opportunities to retain and attract local businesses, capitalizing on the unique charm of our community. Our BETA program has provided a springboard for opportunity and growth that is evidenced in the downtown and the Route 59 corridor. And it's been delightful to see the proliferation of marketing events to help attract patrons from outside the community. To incoming freshman commissioners, I encourage you to be curious and sometimes contrarian. Don't be afraid to speak up and express your thoughts and opinions. Engage in open, mindful debate with your fellow commissioners, staff, and the board. I also urge you to learn more about certain levers used to spur economic development and their impact on the community and other taxing districts, especially TIFs. To my fellow commissioners, past and present, and to staff, it has been an honor and a pleasure to serve with you. I've cherished and learned from our mindful deliberations. Continue to do good work for the community and the taxpayers. And to village board members, past and present, I thank you for your trust and confidence that I would serve the commission with integrity and passion for the betterment of our entire community. I wish you all well in the work at hand and for the work in the future to keep Bartlett the kind of hometown where we all want to live, work, and play. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you, Tracy. Anyone else like to address the board at this time? He's got to go make some more burgers. Is it Chris or John? Chris, is there one?
No one on the board.
No
Yeah,
one?
no one wishes to speak tonight.
Okay. All right. Moving on to standing committee reports. First standing committee report is Building and Zoning Committee, Chairman Hopkins.
Thank you, President Wallace. There is nothing to report tonight.
Thank you, Chairman Hopkins. Community and Economic Development, Chairman Gansey.
Thank you, Mr. President. There's nothing to report tonight.
Thank you, Chairman Gansey. Finance and Golf Committee, Chairman Daney.
Thank you, Mr. President. The only thing we had on the agenda was covered under consent.
Thank you, Chairman Daney. License and Ordinance Committee, Chairman Gunstein.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have nothing to report tonight.
Thank you, Chairman Gunstein. Police and Health Committee, Chairman Swansky.
Thank you, Mr. President. Item E1 was covered under consent.
Thank you, Chairman Swansky. Public Works Committee, Chairman Laporte.
Mr. President, I have one, and I have two that are covered under consent. The agenda item I have is Stearns Road Pump Station modifications, agreement between Bullard Construction and the Village of Bartlett. The Stearns Road Pump Station modifications will modify the existing pump station to allow the village to use the pump station and reservoir for daily operations and allow the existing wells to be used as emergency backup. Bids were opened and read on February 8th, 2023 for the Stearns Road Pump Station modifications. 5 bids were received and ranged from $1,032,000 to $1.367875 million. The low bidder, Integral Construction Incorporated, did not meet the requirements per the contract documents of having at least 5 similar projects successfully completed within the past 10 years. They included a letter with their bid stating that they started pursuing and bidding on water and wastewater sector projects in 2022. We checked on the list of water and wastewater projects they submitted, and most have not even started construction yet. Based on them not meeting our requirements, we reviewed the next lowest bid at $1,035,800 from Bowler Construction Company Incorporated. Bowler Construction has done many similar projects and has done the work with the village in the past with successful completion. Bowler Construction is considered the lowest responsible and responsive bidder. We recommend award of the Stearns Road Pump Station modification to Bowler Construction. And if there's nothing else to add, if Dan, you want to add anything, otherwise, I've got a motion to approve Resolution 2023-21-R, a resolution awarding contract and approving the contract agreement between Bowler Construction Incorporated and the Village of Bartlett for the Stearns Road Pump Station modifications.
Second that.
Moved by trustee Laporte, seconded by trustee Daney. Is there any discussion?
I just want to thank staff for actually looking at the lowest bidder and determining that they might not be a good fit for the village. So I think that helps protect us. So thank you for looking at it.
When do we anticipate starting the work on this?
The biggest issue is getting the electrical components, so we have to get the project awarded so they could start going through the submittal process, and then we'll put the order in, and then from there, once they make the purchase order with the various suppliers, we'll get a kind of a time frame on when that material would arrive, and the contractor will schedule from there. But we had a pre-bid meeting for this project where we were able to talk to the contractors and kind of get a feel for what they were seeing for delivery of materials and that. We wanted to make sure we had left enough time in the bid to account for that, so we weren't getting high bids because they couldn't meet it. So we ended up, I think they got close to 2 years completion, because they're saying electrical, like a motor control center for electrical parts is out about a year. So that's what we're looking at. So we'll get a schedule from the contractor once we have those submittals and they start putting in the POs for those various pieces of equipment.
Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Sawansky?
Yes.
Daney?
Yes.
Gansey?
Yes.
Gunstein?
Yes.
Hopkins?
Yes.
Laporte?
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you, Chairman Laporte. Under new business, there's one item, the MMR10 Inc., doing business as Yummy Poke, Class B liquor license request was received. Everything was in order. I intend on issuing that license unless there's any issues on the board.
I have a question. Where are they located?
It's the streets of Bartlett. Anything else? All right, any new business?
Are we going to sing happy birthday to
We are.
trustee Guns, or
We are. You missed your opportunity to do your questions and answers.
Would you like to
So
share?
today is trustee
Yeah, we have birthdays
Gansey's
today,
21st birthday.
and Scott's 61st birthday.
Scott's about, I think he's 30, but,
Catching up to me.
so we have to say Scott and Steph, so to say S and S.
Yes, no, let's.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear S and S. Happy birthday to you.
I just want to say that there's nowhere I'd rather be on my birthday than in the village I love with very smart people. So thank you.
It's a good liar, too.
And the party is where afterwards?
I missed it.
Anyone have any questions before we adjourn?
No.
Other issues? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by trustee Swansky, seconded by trustee Laporte. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Daney,
Yes.
Gansey,
Yes.
Gunstein,
Yes.
Hopkins,
Yes.
Laporte,
Yes.
Swansky.
Yes.
We are adjourned.